Charlotte Flair injured December 8th at the Tribute to the Troops SmackDown show. It was a match against Asuka, and Charlie tore up her knee pretty badly. A torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus that would put her out of action for an estimated 7 to 12 months, depending on the severity of the tears and the progress of her rehab. For instance, Sethington Rollins had a similar injury to Charlie Flair's, and he was given a 9 to 12 month rehab timetable. And he was back in that ring in 7 to 8 months. So it's all about what type of rehab you have chosen, what type of therapy you have dived into, how your body responds to it, how hard you're working at it, your diet. There's so much that goes into these rehabs for injuries like this, no matter what the sport. But either way, you're saying Charlie Flair, right? 7 months is if everything was to go perfect. 12 months more than likely. But you're saying no matter what, if you tap into your Steiner math, that puts Charlotte's return way past WrestleMania, right? Right? Not so fast. Because word going around is that Charlie Flair is adamant that she will be at WrestleMania 40, Philadelphia, in early April. Word going around is that Charlie Flair is contemplating pulling off the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary miracle. Now, for those unfamiliar with the Aaron Rodgers saga, Aaron Rodgers is the starting quarterback for the New York Jets of the National Football League. And this was the season where most Jets fans and the organization truly felt there was the potential for a Super Bowl run. And in the very first offensive drive for the Jets, on the fourth play from center, Aaron Rodgers dropped like a ton of bricks with a torn Achilles. The timetable that Rodgers was given was, you're done, that's a wrap, see you next year. His timetable was 9 to 12 months, to which Aaron Rodgers, like he always does to the scientists or the docs, he goes against the grain, he questions everything. He scoffs at it, and he does things his way, which is usually the exact opposite of what the scientists and the doctors and the know-it-alls tell him. And this was no different. They said 9 to 12 months. Aaron Rodgers said, no, unacceptable. I'll be back this season. In fact, I'll be back in 3 months, mid-December. And for those that don't know, just last week, he was indeed activated back onto the Jets. Now, how realistic was him playing in a game? Now they're saying, oh, that was never really the goal. It was just to have him around the team because the team gets a spark when he's around. But that's BS. He was around the whole season. He's around every Sunday on the sidelines, and they still lose more than they win. Right? If he's not fully healthy, clearly he's more susceptible to being injured at a much more higher rate than anybody else on that field. And his age isn't helping him, already being in his 40s. So the question now comes, hey, that's great for you, but what is this really doing for the team and the organization that has invested so much in you? Maybe we have to kind of just cut the losses, regroup, come back stronger for next year, hopefully, and hope for the best. But no, Rodgers, he had this zany goal, and here he is, just 3 months after the injury. That was early September, and he's back mid-December. Torn Achilles. As a starting quarterback in the NFL, that was 9 to 12 months up front, you're out. So now everybody is talking about all these athletes, no matter the sport. They're all now saying, you know what? If an injury along the same lines happens to me, I have to second guess everything I'm being told. I now have to think, can my body do more? Should I be doing more? If I switch up my diet here, because that's what Rodgers did, right? A lot of this was diet, he claims. And you got other people thinking. So now here's Charlotte Flair. Different injury, of course. ACL, MCL, meniscus. This is a very bad injury, guys. Takes you out. But now we're hearing that she's telling people, well, no, don't call me out of WrestleMania yet. I will be in that ring. Now, to her credit, we're not hearing anything that she's saying she's going to wrestle. That's another story, which if I'm a WWE doc, no offense to Charlie, and listen, I commend the spirit and the fight and the heart to come back quicker than those that have experience with this are telling you should. I don't condemn that. I commend it because I think there's honor in that and prestige and such respect. But no way. If you're a doc and you approve, wrestling is different than football, which is contact sport. I get it. But wrestling is so much different than football, basketball, hockey. I don't care what the sport is. Pro wrestling, you will blow out that knee. If you ain't even 70% ready to rock, you will shatter that knee. So I don't see how anybody can approve Charlotte Flair to come back for WrestleMania. If it is indeed a full torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. I just don't see how that's possible. But I absolutely believe that she's going to be in that ring. If she's telling people that that's her goal to get in that, I don't know if that's that's obviously got to be like a save scenario, right? So I don't know. Something is going to happen schmaz-wise and Charlie, or they'll make a schmaz just so that Charlie can be in Philly to come down that aisle. All the rehab now just has to go into making sure she can make it down that aisle in less than 2 minutes. That is a very long aisle. She was just on crutches at the CMLL Arena Mexico show, supporting Andrade. I believe husband, right? Not fiance. I think they're married now, so I'm gonna say husband. Andrade, he was at the CMLL show in Mexico, and Charlie was there front row supporting him and seen on crutches, obviously. But, man, just coming down the aisle, it seems like a pain in the ass 3 months after surgery. Because, guys, from what we know is she didn't even get the surgery yet. The injury was early December. We were hearing maybe early January she was going to get it and then start the intense rehab, which would have to be all of January, all of February, all of March, and then early April is when she would like to appear somehow Philadelphia WrestleMania 40. Again, I don't see any way that's in a match. I understand in pro wrestling you can hide an injury huge. I mean, you could have her leg, and I quote, taken out backstage so that the whole match she's basically hopping on the other leg. I get it, trust me. You could absolutely do the match, which, by the way, that's not smart either because now you're overcompensating your other leg, but that's for doctors and physical therapists. You guys know what I'm talking about. Overcompensation is one of the lead causes for people to get injured. In other words, they had one injury on one side of their body, an arm, a leg, something like that. So they're using the other side more. So then when the other arm is much better and you think you're 100%, your other side starts imploding. It's called overcompensation. So I wouldn't recommend that either. But I understand there's ways to do it. I just don't see how that's... So anyway, listen, I commend the heart, much respect for Charlie. And if she wants to do a run-in or even just go to the ring and say what's up to everybody and show everybody that you are not far off from a return, maybe even SummerSlam, okay? But I just don't think a wrestling match is smart. I like that people are challenging the scientists and the docs and all that. Trust me, I like that. But just be smart about it, all right? These sports are nothing to play with. Aaron Rodgers playing on a Sunday afternoon, just a few months after a torn Achilles, is not smart. Charlotte Flair getting a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus, and then 3 to 4 months later being at WrestleMania when she was told 7 to 12 months, just because that's the new thing to do, I just can't. I would never sign off on that. Again, much respect. But show up, middle of the do a save, say what's up to everybody, but no match. And let's be honest, the company could use this. There's a lot of females that could really use this stage, the grandest stage that Charlie was going to be on, taking another title, either getting her 15th or tying her father's 16th. I forgot which one we're at. I think it may be 15th. But she was going to capture a championship in Philadelphia at the anniversary of WrestleMania 40. So while you never want to see somebody get injured, and it sucks for Charlotte Flair, no doubt, this is really going to help somebody else and really open the door, hopefully, for a big match and big moment for others. So if I'm Charlie, enjoy life. Just relax. Go watch Andrade, rehab. But come back, right? The old saying, come back soon, but not too soon. Because we want you at 100%. And use this time to repackage some stuff that doesn't connect with the fans, right? This time should be used to totally just reignite yourself. And be better. Do better. Just don't be the company machine's pick. You know, the machine itself, like you're the chosen one. Actually think of ways that the fans are going to anoint you the chosen one. Now that's special. That is honorable. But we wish Charlie all the best. But when I heard that word was going around that Charlie is telling people, I'm going to be at WrestleMania in that ring somehow, one way or another. When I heard that, I said, oh, we got to talk about that. Until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC saying check you. Peace.